Outback Steakhouse halftime report.
Will Grier finds DeAndre Goolsby on this play, but when Florida got in the red zone, they struggled a bit. That's what Jim McElwain had to say when Quint Kesnick caught up with him talking about the red zone problems.
Coach, what's been the biggest challenge you faced in the red zone?
Well, big thing is we're hurting ourselves with penalties, and you know, it's something we've been pretty good at. But you know what, we're not good enough right now to overcome, so we've got to make sure that we're playing right. And you know what, they're doing a heck of a job.
After 30 minutes, which quarterback gives you the best chance to win this game in the second half?
You know, we'll look at that when we get in there and talk about it and figure out what we're going to do. Thanks.
Not good enough. I think we're probably going to see more of Grier in the second half, although the rotation says Harris would start, but I think Grier probably gives them a better opportunity to throw the football, considering that they're struggling running the football tonight.
At what point does Grier or Harris actually distinctively separate themselves? When you say he separated himself from the other guy, what will it look like?
We haven't seen it tonight.
Okay.
You know, we've seen one touchdown drive by Grier. We've seen a couple of drives by Harris for field goals and missed field goals, things of that nature. So the production we haven't seen, and part of that is the East Carolina defense. They've blitzed these guys. They've shut down the rushing attack, so it's been tougher.
Let's go downstairs to Quint.
Yeah, offensively, Ruffin McNeil told me they've been facing a six-man box all game long. They're going to have to run the ball, he said, and you expect to see more quarterback run with James Summers. But six-man box, they're playing nickel. He said we got to take what they're giving us, and that means running the ball.
Yeah, Quint, you know, after that first series, East Carolina's offense just shut down.
Well, they ran for 12 yards in the first half, and, you know, they don't have a running threat at quarterback when they have Kemp in there. And Summers, quite honestly, seemed to have struggled. The moment was kind of big for him. Big crowd, first opportunity to play quarterback.
Brandon Powell back deep for the Gators. Powell, the birthday boy, will take a knee. It'll come back out to the 25-yard line. And it's going to be Will Grier, it looks like, taking the reins of this Florida offense. So once again, he will start here in the third after Harris finished off the second quarter. Will Grier is the redshirt freshman from Davidson, North Carolina, the former National High School Player of the Year. His dad, Chad, coached him at high school at Davidson Day School. Done a great job in the weight room since getting on campus. Came here as a 172-pound true freshman. Now weighing in at 205. 7% body fat if you're counting. A strong run between the tackles by Kelvin Taylor, brought down by Brunson after the 4-yard gain.
Well, part of the reason they're struggling to run is Dimitri McGill, the nose tackle inside. He's 314 pounds, and it's hard to move him out of there. And he's been commanding double teams, and that's allowed the linebackers to come up and make tackles like that. But that 4-yard run was as good a start as they've had on first down, Florida, in quite a while.
2nd and 6. Grier slings it incomplete, way short of Antonio Callaway. It's going to be 3rd down and 6 coming up. Rod, I want to get back to a point. You talked about the Florida running game. On film, you were pointing out earlier this week when we were studying, they double team a lot. How much of that have we seen here, and how productive has it been for them?
Well, it hasn't been that productive, and part of it has been McGill, because when they have to put 2 guys on him to try and move him out of the middle, that singles up the other guys, and you get the pressure from the linebackers. So they've really taken away the inside rushing attack from Florida. That's why you see so much passing, which is why I thought Grier would come out in the 3rd quarter.
Cronkite in at tailback now, the true freshman. Grier going to try and do it with his legs, and he does. And then some. Well, the coaches told us he's a little more mobile than you give him credit for, and he proved it there.
Yeah, he can scramble. He can take the ball right up the gut like he does here. But he's not a mobile quarterback who will extend plays for you. He's not going to be the guy they design the zone read or the quarterback power run for. That's Harris's forte. They want him to throw it and to take advantage of those situations where he can run up the middle on a scramble, but they're not going to design runs for him.
I was surprised he didn't slide at the end of that. That may be in the next practice. 1st and 10. Little play action, taking it up top. And it's incomplete. Well underthrown. Intended for Demarcus Robinson, one of their home run hitters. Josh Hawkins back there in coverage for the Pirates.
And to your point about that ball being underthrown, Harris is a better deep thrower, in my opinion. I think he throws a better deep ball than Greer. But I think Greer is better at the intermediate passes, and even with the short game, I think he's more accurate there. But if you simply want to throw the deep ball, I think Harris is the guy you want in there for that.
Harris right now watching from the sidelines after we got a lot of snaps in the second quarter. 2nd and 10. Greer hands it off to Taylor, and Taylor with a nice gain. Got about 9. Sets up a 3rd down and about 1 to go. That is the son of Fred Taylor from Belle Glade, Florida.
He's got really good vision, really good instincts. No surprise, considering his dad was a great NFL player, and he gets tips from Frank Gore during the summer, and has for the last several years since he was an 8th grader.
Yep. But his dad was going to make his way to the game this weekend. Asked him when the last time he talked to his father before yesterday. He said, well, called him for money several days before that. He's been money for Florida tonight, but not on this run. Stuffed for a loss on the play of about 4. That Pirate defense had a good read on it. Good pressure up front by Terrell Stanley, number 66.
Yeah, brought pressure, and Taylor reversed field. Hard to do that in that situation.
4th down coming up for the Gators, and the punting unit on the floor.
Imagine that. Son calling his father for money while he's away at college. That hasn't happened to you.
You've got that call. I guess that cost of attendance thing isn't quite working yet. 4th and 5. Fair catch called back at the 8-yard line by Johnson. The cost of attendance, and there's the cost of being a parent. 2 different things, right?
But the SEC had 10 teams in the top 5 in the AP poll this week. Interesting.
At some point, East Carolina is going to have to do better on 1st down than they've done recently.
That is the key to the second half for them.
Kemp fires incomplete into deep coverage, trying to find Grayson, who caught the only touchdown pass of the game so far for the Pirates.
Well, when you don't get anything done on 1st down, you're in a hole. And the defense can now dictate to you on 2nd down and 3rd down what they want to do. They can bring pressure, they can play nickel, they can play dime, and that's what Florida's done to them.
This is the worst starting field position of any drive for either team. That's Jones with the catch. Out to the 17-yard line, picked up 8. Leaves them with a 3rd down and a couple to go.
The only time we saw East Carolina stretch the field was in that opening drive when they got the touchdown catch. And now Summers is in.
3rd and 1. He's going to throw it. Caught, and a 1st down to Jones just beyond the 20-yard line. Had to turn around and make a pretty difficult catch on that, too. And Summers back out of the game. In comes Kemp again.
So it looks like they're going to rotate quarterbacks in the second half here.
It was surprising that they bring him in to throw the ball.
Yeah.
1st and 10 for Blake Kemp at quarterback. Gets rid of it quickly up top, and that's way out of bounds, incomplete. Barnes never really had a chance working against Quincy Wilson, and boy, has this day ever changed for number 6 for the Gators. Wilson, the defensive back who's getting to start tonight in place of the injured Vernon Hargraves III. East Carolina went after him early and often and had some success in doing so on the game's first drive, but it's been a different tune ever since.
What he forgot about is, we talked about, if you're a good corner, you have to have a memory that allows you to forget those things quickly.
2nd and 10, quick release, and it's incomplete. Ripped out of the hands of the receiver by Tabor. Intended for Williams on the play.
I like this secondary. I mean, this may be the best secondary in college football when Hargraves is out there.
Kemp was just 3 of his last 9. But given time, incomplete over the middle. And 4th down coming up for the Pirates. Jarrett Davis with the hit on Isaiah Jones, incomplete.
Well, once again, they had 2 first down opportunities and got nothing. Put themselves in a hole and are struggling on 3rd down. They converted 1, but again, just not enough firepower offensively.
In the American Athletic Conference this year, East Carolina picked to finish by most of the pundits right around 4th in the division. This is the 5th punt of the day for Gregory. At the 34, Brandon Powell fields it cleanly, and there's a flag down on the play. No return on the 44-yard punt. See what this flag is all about as Will Grier gets set apparently to come back in for another series.
It's in that area of the block in the back.
During the kick, illegal block in the back, number 12 of the receiving team. That's a 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. 1st down. Timeout.
Timeout on the field as Will Grier tries to find a little rhythm in this Gator offense. Nighttime here in Gainesville, Florida, under the lights at Ben Hill Griffin Stadium. In a tight ball game, Florida was a pretty prohibitive favorite coming into this ball game against ECU. That pass incomplete and looks like it's intercepted, caught on the fly, off the bounce, off of Bailey, and East Carolina with the interception and great field position now.
Yeah, you called it. That ball just bounced off of Bailey's chest as he hit the ground. Just watch here. He's trying to cradle it. That ball never hit the ground. He didn't have control over it. It's underneath. It's on top of his hand as he hits the ground. And it bounced up. I don't see that ball ever hit the ground.
I don't think it did.
No.
And Fulp made the interception.
I think his right arm was underneath the ball. So take a look at the right arm. Right arm, right hand.
The officials are reviewing it as we speak.
Right arm, right hand are between the ground and the ball bounced up. And then that ball was picked up out of the air by, was that Bobby Fulp who got it?
Yep, looked like it was him. Boy, you talk about strange bounces.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. 1st down.
Yeah, that's a good call. As you saw in our replay, it was Bailey's right arm that was on the ground, and the ball was on that right arm and bounced up in the air.
And here we go from the 27-yard line for the Pirates.
Huge
Great opportunity.
Yeah.
1st and 10. Blake Kemp in at quarterback. They've been rotating both he and James Summers tonight.
But they've had no rhythm on 1st down. No success on 1st down.
Little pressure off the edge. Kemp has a man open. Jones. Touchdown Pirates. East Carolina with a 13-10 lead after that touchdown catch for 27 yards by Isaiah Jones.
Well, Jones was the guy we talked about that had to get hot, had to be included. And they finally got involved, and they caught Florida bringing pressure, blitzing, and left Jones all alone.
That's the 11th touchdown catch of his career. And the Pirates now lead 14-10. Jones starting to play a bigger role here. And a huge catch for the Pirates. And they got the home team down and reeling a little bit when we come back to the Swamp. East Carolina making the trip here to Gainesville, Florida, and why not? Their team leading by 4 points right now after that touchdown reception by Isaiah Jones. Isaiah's dad, Rob, played at East Carolina back in the days. His uncle is Jeff Blake, brother in the NFL, has a brother at Arizona as well. This is Brandon Powell on the kickoff return. Has an alley. Got some speed. And a nice tackle at the 42-yard line, but a good return. Let's take one more look at the touchdown. What was the pivotal moment here, Rod?
Well, it starts with the mismatch here. You've got Jones hooked up with May, the safety. That's an advantage to the wide receiver. And so he really freezes him, and watch what's going to happen. Mays falls down, and now your safety is about 15 yards out of the picture. They were playing man-free coverage, and once Jones has this, oh, he's got a lot of room to make a move. So it started with the mismatch with a safety on the wide receiver, and then plenty of space for Jones to get into the end zone.
Will Greer in at quarterback. Little receiver screen complete to Robinson. Nice move. And Robinson is getting loose. Picks up about 15 yards for the first down as we go back to the studio.
Over on ABC, Spartans on top, guys.
Right back here, Will Greer in at quarterback has had a decided edge in plays tonight over Treon Harris, the other half of that quarterbacking duo. 1st and 10. Taylor with the handoff. Nice seam, picks up about 8. So, Rod, let me ask you at this juncture of the game, Greer, with the inordinate amount of snaps, you see them right there compared to, is this a decision? Has a decision been rendered right now?
I think so. I think we have the starting quarterback now for Florida. The fact that Harris didn't start the third quarter when the rotation would dictate that, and you look at the number of plays and the fact that they have to throw the ball, I think that all says they are more comfortable with Greer.
2nd and 2, Greer completes it. And there he is again, Robinson holding that ball loosely. Picked up 16. No flag there on the sidelines. He was kind of standing still right at the boundary.
The fans were certainly calling for a flag. Robinson is the guy who is probably the most electrifying receiver they have, the guy who has the most experience as well. There you see the end of the play. Tackled out of bounds.
No call?
No call. I think they felt like, you know, there was a lot of movement going on over there. I mean, I might have flagged him, but I understand why the officials didn't.
Little trickery on the inside handoff. This is Powell. And Powell picked up about 3. A little shy of the 15-yard line. 2nd down coming up.
Yeah, Powell's been quiet as well. Again, East Carolina's done a good job of handling the rushing attack in the first half, and that made it tougher for Florida to throw the football. It made them one-dimensional, essentially.
There we see is Fred Taylor. Pardon me, I knew I was going to make that mistake at some point. Kelvin Taylor told us quarterback Will Greer perhaps a little bit more vocal than Treon Harris, directing traffic and completing this pass to the edge to Robinson. Let's see where they spot it. Looks like he got the first down, and a flag thrown this time.
Yeah.
Dominique Lennon there came in a little bit late.
Well, not only did he come in late, he came in with a forearm towards the head. Just watch the end of the play. Robinson's out of bounds. Now watch here. He's up high with the forearm to the helmet.
Personal foul. Late hit out of bounds. Number 31 defense. Half the distance to the goal.
It's a combination of the hit out of bounds, plus he goes up high.
That's going to tack on a few more yards, make it a 1st and goal now from inside the 5 for the Florida Gators in the all-orange uniforms, wearing these unis for the first time since 1989. Echoing memories of Emmitt Smith, Kerwin Bell, doing a great job at Jacksonville University. Cronkrite in the backfield. 3 tight ends, single back formation. Greer into the end zone, incomplete, and almost picked off.
Oh, did he
close.
get away with one there?
Trayvon Simmons, Rod, almost picked that one off.
Well, you could have picked out your number of white shirts that had a shot at that ball. I'm not sure what Greer saw here. I saw a lot of purple, a lot of white. Look at all those white jerseys. Ooh. He tries to squeeze that into the back of the end zone to McGee. We talked about at the very beginning of the show. There's a little bit of arrogance because of his arm, his accuracy. He tries to squeeze the ball into places where a lot of folks would say, no. That was an example of it.
We've seen what they've done in the red zone so far tonight. Not that efficient at all. They're going to hand it off. And Cronkrite tripped over the 7-yard line marker. Man, his feet tangled up. And Coach McElwain, literally scratching his head, trying to figure out what exactly the problem has been in the red zone tonight. Third and goal.
He told Quint that it was us, so that we're doing it to ourselves. They tripped themselves there. And then the previous down, the bad throw into the end zone, he's a little frustrated because you can't say East Carolina has hurt them down here. They've given them opportunities. Florida hasn't taken advantage down here.
Third and goal. Remember, they've already missed 2 field goals tonight, so you wonder how much trust Coach McElwain might have in his place kicker right now.
The one guy they have is Robinson. He's been the guy on this drive.
Taylor's in the backfield. Greer fires. Touchdown, Robinson. The extra point good, and Robinson, who is the central figure in a little bit of controversy this week when Coach told us he decided to take himself out of the starting lineup because of a decision he made. Looks like he decided to get himself a touchdown here. Dig me now. We'll be on the lookout for Taco Bell student sections and passionate fans like these at games all season long. Go to ESPN.com/Taco Bell to learn how to win a chance to join your school's student section at the College Football Playoff on New Year's Eve. So remember, party or celebration before that thing hits midnight. Make sure there's a ton of flat screen TVs in the building, right?
Well, that's the only way to operate on New Year's Eve this year.
Yeah, cotton and sugar bowl. Pardon me, cotton and orange bowls. What a great response by the Gators offensively after that East Carolina touchdown. Come back and score one right here, Rod.
Yeah, excellent job here on this play. And the ball was going nowhere but to Robinson. Greer stares him down. That's the only person he wants. He runs a little in and out move and is deep enough in the end zone. He almost fell down on the route but kept his footing, and the ball was right there. So nice response by Greer. 8 plays, 57 yards, and the touchdown pass to Robinson.
Look at the scoring drive, and had to take note of who's coming out at quarterback for each of the teams tonight. They switched it up quite a bit. Blake Kemp is going to be taking this shotgun snap from C.J. Struck. Kemp. Look for Grayson. Been one of his favorite targets tonight. That one out of bounds and incomplete. Working against Quincy Wilson, pardon me. A familiar refrain tonight, Rod.
Well, Wilson ate him up that time. I mean, Wilson struggled in the first quarter, but since then, it's been pretty much locked down on his side of the field.
Jones make the catch, and Jones stopped up just shy of the 30-yard line. It'll be third down and about 6 to go.
Well, keep in mind pressure. That offensive line has, by and large, done a good job of giving Blake Kemp enough time to find his receivers. But expect more pressure inside. They try to move Bullard inside on third downs and usually bring someone off the edge.
Kemp gets rid of it underneath, complete, but short of the first down by a couple of yards. Jones with another catch. Jarrett Davis there right away to make the stop. And it's going to be fourth down coming up for East Carolina. So the Gator defense comes up with a stop.
You feel like East Carolina has abandoned the rushing game. There's 3 straight throws. You missed it on first down, and they just stayed with it. It's like they've given up on trying to run the football now.
And Hairston, a guy that last week against, albeit Townsend. Townsend had 154 yards. Brandon Powell right there for the Gators on his own 25. On his own 18, and so they're going to get a delayed game penalty.
Team number 40, 5-yard penalty, still fourth down.
It's the second one tonight for the Pirates. Well, these two teams met a little over 9 months ago in the Birmingham Bowl. It was a very competitive game decided by just 1 touchdown, and it came down to the final drive of that contest. Vernon Hargraves the third, making the interception to end it all.
And East Carolina came out of the game feeling like they outplayed Florida and came into this game with a lot of confidence. They haven't moved the ball as well in this game as they did in the bowl game.
Powell's going to watch it bounce. And it's going to be marked out of bounds up around the 35-yard line as we go back to the studio. Guys, what's going on?
Mark here with Butch Davis. Oklahoma and Tennessee. 3rd and goal, final minute. Coach, look at this beautiful catch by Sterling Shepard.
Unbelievable. Great throw by Baker Mayfield, the quarterback for Oklahoma. Great placement.
All tied, final minute. Could be going to OT in Neyland, guys.
All right, from the SEC East Tennessee Volunteers to SEC East Florida Gators here. Cronkite in the backfield. First down and 10. Right over that left guard, Antonio Riles and David Sharp. Got about a yard, stopped up by Terrell Stanley. 2nd down and long coming up. Will Grier still in at quarterback, and Rod, as you intoned earlier, it seems as if a decision has been rendered here between himself and Treon Harris as to who the starter will be from this point on. Harris still on the sidelines as the discrepancy in the number of snaps continues to grow in Grier's favor. 2nd and 9. Grier down the middle, incomplete, and close to being intercepted by Scarfone. Well, Florida trying to answer some questions before they get into conference play and conference opponents. They have Kentucky coming up soon.
Yeah, they do. Right now, they need to think in terms of this game and not so much Kentucky. They're still in the danger zone here. They've got a 3rd down. Robinson's out of the game right now. So who is the key guy that can pick up this 3rd down for them? Robinson was the key guy last series, but he's not in there right now.
Last week, this Florida offense saw 14 different people catch passes. Grier almost picked off in and out of the arms of Scarfone, and Rocco Scarfone is going to want that one back when he watches the tape.
He's going to want the last 2 back. He's dropped 2 in a row, and Grier was off on both those throws. But when you pull an upset, you have to make plays like that.
Boy.
That play, you make that catch, you give your offense a short field, or maybe you take it back for a pick 6. But that's how you pull upsets when you're on the road.
Yeah, that's room service. Townsend coming from his own 25. Not a great punt. And the Pirates are going to get a little bit of a break here. It's going to be marked well beyond the 30 at the 33-yard line. Well, folks, U.S. Open Men's Championship, #1 against #2. Djokovic Federer, say no more. Those two have had some epic battles in the past. It's the 4th time they're meeting in a Grand Slam event final. And 3:30 on ESPN. Look at those numbers. Djokovic.
Who you got?
I love the cool demeanor of Roger Federer.
Yeah. I'm riding or dying with Arfed.
Yeah.
Love the Joker, but I'm an Arfed guy. Sorry.
First down and 10. Both were very convincing in their semifinal matches. That pass incomplete, and that's going to be a flag. Yeah, they were draped all over Jones. Antonio Morrison, the linebacker, I mean, he was holding him like a grudge that time. He was all over.
Pass interference. Defense number 3. Ball will be placed in the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
Well, kudos for Morrison for getting back on the field. A guy who had a knee injury in that bowl game, rehabbed it, and he's back out there playing. Remarkable that he's back in that short amount of time.
Defensive coordinator Jeff Collins called him a freak of nature for his ability to bounce back. That's the 8th Florida penalty tonight. Kemp on the move and throws it away.
You know, Jonesy, they can't keep doing this. They got to get something on first down, and they've abandoned the running game. They have to run the football a little bit. The pressure on the quarterback is huge. They're bringing, even with the 4-man rush, they're at him. So they have to find a way to take some pressure off. If you can't run the ball, you got to throw some screens, you got to do some draws, you got to do something here, or else that's going to cost them eventually.
2nd and 10. Hairston is to the right of quarterback Blake Kemp. Jones with nowhere to go and brought down behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of about 4. And at the 35.
I don't
That's
get
not
that.
the kind of run you had in mind, right?
If you can't run the football and you're getting pressure, the last thing you need to do is to run a reverse or something deep in your backfield. You're already getting penetration in your backfield.
Now you got a 3rd and long coming up.
If I'm Florida, I don't back off.
3rd and 13. Picked off, and this could be a pick 6. Touchdown, Tabor. Blake Kemp with an egregious error that time. And the Gators flip it into a touchdown. Think about the fact that Rocco Scarfone had an opportunity at 2 interceptions for the Pirates.
Yeah, and you could see that coming. You could feel that play coming with the pressure on Kemp, the lack of a rushing attack, and Florida dialing up the heat. You just could feel something like that coming for Florida.
Following the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 91 of the scoring team, a 15-yard penalty being forced on the kickoff.
Going to go against Joey Ivy, number 91. That secondary of the Gators, which was victimized frequently on the opening drive of the ball game by the Pirates offensively, has really flipped the script on the Pirates since then.
Well, the pressure the front 4 has been putting on Blake Kemp tremendous. You saw it there. He kind of threw blindly, trying to get the ball out to Bryce Williams and Tabor with the kind of play we've come to expect from this secondary. Probably the best secondary in the country. When they get opportunities to make picks, they don't drop them.
It's now a 10-point ball game. Florida has 20 interceptions for touchdowns since 2008. That's the most in FBS.
Well,
talk about opportunistic.
Yeah, and that's the thing that gives Gator fans some hope this season, that this defense can be so outstanding that it can keep them in games when they get into SEC play.
And the swamp has come alive. Kicking off from the 20 because of the penalty against Ivy. From the 10, this is Johnson. East Carolina feeling a little bit of pressure right now, and guys, pressure makes diamonds and pressure busts pipes as we go back to the studio. All right, so interesting night for the SEC, Rod, when you look at Tennessee in a tight game there, and Florida here. Auburn struggling a little bit earlier. Alabama handling the Blue Raiders of Middle Tennessee State.
Look, it's fair to say Pac-12 and Big Ten had bad weeks last week. SEC's having a tough week this week.
Field and incomplete. There's a flag on the play. Working against Tabor, the guy that returned the pick for the touchdown a moment ago, intended for Jimmy Williams. Here's the call.
Before the pass was thrown, holding number 26 of the defense. It's a 10-yard penalty for the previous spot. Automatic first down.
That's against Marcel Harris, the safety.
Okay, riddle me this, partner. Ruffin McNeil told Quinn at halftime, got to run the ball more, particularly against the nickel defense. How do you explain one rushing play in the second half for East Carolina?
And still enough time to run the ball, right? I mean,
yeah. And even before the last touchdown, there's still time.
Kemp out of the shotgun. Downfield, incomplete. No flag. Intended for Bryce Williams. Williams, the big transfer from Marshall. And remember, Hargraves did not start on the corner for Florida tonight. For more, here's Quinn.
0 plays for Vernon Hargraves, but his impact has been huge on this sideline. Teammate, leader, challenging Quincy Wilson and the rest of that secondary, being positive with them. He's been up and down the sidelines all day. Cheerleader, assistant coach, really impressed with what he's brought to the table as basically a spectator.
The consummate teammate. Wide open in the flat, complete. And pushed out of bounds just before the first down marker is Jimmy Williams. Picked up 9. It'll be 3rd and short coming up for the Pirates. And it's a team that likes to go quick, and we're seeing them go a lot faster now than they did earlier, right, Rob?
Yeah, well, a little bit of a sense of desperation. They've ratcheted it up again a bit. They need to pick up first downs to stay on the field and to have an opportunity to get back in the game.
Only one running play here in the second half, and here's the second. Hairston gets the first down and a couple more. Into Gator territory, the 45 picks up 8.
Remember, Hairston had 185 yards rushing last week, 4 touchdowns, and has been a forgotten man tonight.
1st and 10. Empty formation, 5 receivers. Kemp gets it off, incomplete. Really challenging those defensive backs. Quincy Wilson there again, working against Grayson, and since that opening drive, Wilson has really responded.
I think he's had a really good night. You take away the touchdown pass when he was actually in good position in the first quarter on that, but got beat on the ball. But he's bounced back from that and has played really tough on the outside.
2nd and 10. Over the middle, the pass complete. Bryce Williams with the catch, still on his feet. Battling all the way down to the 31. Picked up 14 on the play.
Mentioned Hairston earlier. He has 20 yards rushing on the night after 185 last week. They can certainly get him involved with throwing him the football, if not handing it to him.
They hand it off to him this time. Plows forward to the 26. Got about 5 on the play. Pirate offense with a little bit of rhythm here now.
Good drive going, also helping their defense rest up on the sideline.
Inside of 2 minutes to go in the third. A trips left formation. Kemp out of the backfield. Hairston, that's a good matchup for him. Made a move and looks like he got enough for the first down.
And that's as good as a running play. That's a long handoff to your running back out of the backfield. Don't have to really worry about an incompletion. He gets a chance to do something in space. That's a good play for them.
7-yard gain. They move the chains again. Hairston with nowhere to go. Met by a host of Gator tacklers. Bullard leading the way as we go down to Quint.
Well, you see the burst by the Florida Gators defensive line. They just made a wholesale change. The prior 4 defensive linemen after that first down came off the field. They were toast. They were gassed. They had nothing in the tank. They put in 4 fresh bodies, and guess what? They got penetration.
Yeah, Quint, something about that 92 degrees and 90% humidity will fatigue you a little bit. The lofts of 6 on the last play. Kemp trying to throw. Almost got loose and then brought down to the 28. And a flag thrown. A late one.
Is that another celebration on sportsmanlike conduct?
Following the play, personal foul, 69 offense, late hit. The down counts, 15-yard penalty, it'll be third down.
Wow, well, they were in field goal range.
Yeah, that's huge. Remember, this is a 2-possession game. They were in field goal range. Now you're out. So now you actually have to do something to try to get back in there, and that's a long way. You have a play that can get you back to around the 30-yard line to have a shot at a field goal.
30 seconds to go in the third. Hairston open over the middle, slips and falls at the 39-yard line. Way short of the first down. Slippery field, of course. There have been heavy rain all throughout the day.
They have no shot at a field goal from here. So he may go for it here, considering that, you know, if you try and punt from here, you might net, you know, 15, 20 yards because you're likely to kick it into the end zone. So I think they're going to take this break to talk about it.
45 minutes in the books here in Gainesville, Florida, where we might have seen today in week 2 of the college football season a little separation between Greer and Harris. Greer responding with a touchdown toss there. The Gators with the lead when we come back to the fourth.
Playoff.
Back for the start of the fourth quarter. East Carolina punting. They try and drop this one inside the 10, but instead it bounces into the end zone on the 39-yard punt. Gregory couldn't quite get it done. And here's a look at some of the cogent numbers tonight. Blake Kemp, 188 yards passing, the best of them coming on the opening drive of the ball game. Will Greer getting the majority of the snaps tonight. Treon Harris watching most of this game from the sidelines. But we'll see who emerges from the sidelines right now.
I'd say that Demarcus Robinson, though, probably gave Florida the biggest lift with his play in the second half in the passing game, getting a touchdown and a couple of catches to push a drive along as Harris comes on the field.
Treon Harris back in at quarterback. Jordan Scarlett beside him in the backfield, the true freshman tailback. Pass was low. They're going to rule it incomplete. Intended for C.J. Wharton. It'll be second down. Let's go downstairs to Quinn.
Treon took no warm-ups in between the third and fourth quarter. He didn't throw at all, and you see how sluggish he looks. He's been kind of sedate here on the sideline. He's wound tight, but he's just, I haven't seen much energy from him, but it's got to be tough coming cold off the bench.
Yeah, great point.
Yeah, I wonder how much of that, Quinn, is due to the rotation being altered, you know, with Greer getting a lot more snaps than Harris did.
Hand off to Scarlett. And Scarlett, with a nice burst, picks up the first down. And a few more. Got about 14 yards on that. Right, I want to ask you this about Treon Harris. He's been sitting for a long time. You think a guy like that might have a tendency to press once he gets in? And if he does, what does it look like if he's pressing?
Yeah, I think he would. I think you'd see things like you saw on that first play. You know, wound a little tight, the ball's a little short, and maybe try to do a little too much. But again, part of it, too, in my mind, is when you're told the rotation is going to be one thing and then it gets altered and you're not in there, you feel like maybe you're not getting an opportunity.
That's his 13th play. Fumble! And the Pirates have it. East Carolina, with the turnover, come up with a loose ball. Mark Herndon fumbled it.
Wasn't clean.
Yep.
Different quarterback.
And his first touch, Herndon, of the ball game here.
Yeah, you've got two guys who haven't been in there in quite a while. Certainly Herndon hadn't been in there at all. And that's his first carry, and that's a fumble. And you're working with a quarterback he probably hasn't had a lot of work with. Well, Harris puts that ball in a pretty good spot there.
Who's that on?
I think that's on the back. I mean, it looked to me like Harris put it right there for him.
Does East Carolina take a shot right here after the turnover? Try and take the top off? Or?
Only if it's Jones.
They come over the middle. Boy, he thread the needle that time, Rod Gilmore. Down to the 17-yard line. Catch made by Isaiah Jones for 17.
Yeah, he's the threat. He is the guy that can work inside. They're picking on the linebackers, getting him in and around them because they can't beat the corners on the outside.
Jones now up to 80 yards on 10 catches. Hairston on the handoff and drilled immediately. Brought down behind the line of scrimmage at the 21 by Jarrett Davis. Well, he's been in on a bunch of plays tonight.
Yeah, Davis had a big night. He stepped in after the injury much earlier to Alex Anzalone. Davis has come on and played well.
Second down and 14. Hairston motions out of the backfield. That pass complete. And who else but Jones with his 11th reception tonight, that time for 8. So he's up to 88 yards. The meter still running. Plenty of time left for East Carolina.
Yeah, good throw on time, perfect anticipation, expecting his guy Jones to get out there in the flat. You put the ball there. You actually now have a field goal in your back pocket. So remember that Kemp took a sack the last time they were in scoring range.
Let's see if they play it conservatively or not. On 3rd and 5. Given time, but that's going to be short of the first down. At about the 12-yard line, they complete the pass to Bryce Williams. But 4th down coming up. And in comes the field goal unit.
And it's a smart move. Remember what we talked about last week. When you get a turnover, you always want points off the turnover. You can't let the team that turned the ball over have a freebie. And this, if you make it, makes it a one-possession game. Still in a good spot. You don't need the touchdown first. You're okay with the field goal.
And 31 yards out, and he knocks it through. Cloman. The career-long 30-yard field goal. As the Pirates kick off here. Still very much in this game, and they capitalized with a field goal off of that fumble when Treon Harris tried to hand it off to Herndon, who was getting his first touch of the ball game. Be interesting to see who comes back out here for the Gators as they get possession after this kick. Fielded by Powell. It'll come out to the 25. We'll go back to the studio.
Mark, Rod, we finally have a final at Neyland. Double overtime. Here's Oklahoma. First possession of the other overtime period. Sterling Shepard was so fantastic in the fourth quarter and in the OTs. Here he is with a touchdown, giving Oklahoma the lead. And then one final opportunity for Tennessee. Zach Sanchez with the pick here to close it out. First time Tennessee has ever blown a 17-point lead at Neyland Stadium. Oklahoma wins.
Wow, what a comeback. Shepard with a great move down there. Sometimes about guys just making plays. Taylor in the backfield. And it's Treon Harris in at quarterback for the Gators. Harris. Oh, he dropped a dime in there at midfield. What a pass to Goolsby.
We talked about Harris's ability to throw the deep ball. You watched him last season. You saw him do it, and you just saw a pretty pass right there.
Harris was an SEC all-freshman player last year. Started 6 games as a freshman. Went 32-3 at Booker T. Washington High School as a starter. First down and 10. Taylor on the handoff, and Taylor got about 2 on the play. It's interesting. You have so many great football players in Central and South Florida, and Taylor taking advantage of that. Is near the Southwest Ranches area, about 1.5 miles from the Jones residence, and often you'll see a lot of those NFL players working out at a lot of the local high schools. Cypress Bay High School being one of them, and Frank Gore, one of the guys that has mentored Kelvin Taylor through the years. A blitz coming, and Harris wisely throws it away. Got out of the pocket. Will not be grounded.
Smart play.
And beyond the line of scrimmage. Good heat, though, by Zeke Bigger, who might have the best name in all of college football this year.
Biggie.
Zeke Bigger.
Biggie.
Can't you see?
Oh, he brought it up the middle, and Harris could see him, and Harris managed to elude him and get rid of it and save the down. Now they have a 3rd down opportunity instead of a sack.
Demarcus Robinson has been one of the go-to guys for Florida as this game has progressed offensively, Rob.
Well, McElwain said he's looking for an explosive receiver, a guy to make plays, and I think Robinson is saying, I was that guy last year. I'm your guy now.
He split to the bottom of your screen there, the single receiver. Robinson's had 4 catches for 44 yards tonight. Harris looks his way and throws a dart complete to Mr. Clutch for the first down at the 34-yard line.
And that's just a good, tough play by Robinson. He used his body to shield off Scarfone and keep him from getting around and making a play. Just made himself big and got the first down with it. That's a good job.
11-yard gain on the play. Look at Robinson's numbers tonight. 54 yards. Gators with a first down at the 35. Treon Harris takes the snap. Keeping his play alive. And fires it, but out of bounds. Incomplete, intended for Demarcus Robinson. But so far, Rod, early in this drive, Harris has shown some pretty good poise bouncing back from that fumble in the previous series.
Well, I don't think the fumble was on him, to be quite honest with you. And I think he's certainly much warmer and prepared to be on the field now than he was when he came in that last series. I think he was almost surprised to come on the field that last series, considering that they got out of the rotation and it appeared that Greer was going to go the rest of the way.
2nd and 10, 35-yard line. Taylor in the ball game. Taylor gets the carry. At about 4, close to 5. I love what the coaches told us about Kelvin Taylor. They said Football means something to him. He's very serious about his craft, and he's a very impressive young man. We had a great visit with him yesterday.
Well, he loves the game, and this is a hard sport to play. If you don't love it, you don't love the practice, you don't love the weight room, you really shouldn't play it now.
Third down and 6. Taylor again keeping those legs moving, trying to get that first down. He's going to come up about that much short. About a yard short, got 4. And a little bit of a decision here, Rod. What do you make of it?
Oh, I think given the way that your defense is played, I think you go ahead and go for it here.
And 2 missed field goals, right?
Yeah,
does that factor in?
I think that is a factor as well. But, you know, your offensive line is playing well on this series. Your defense is playing well. If you miss it, you're still up 2 scores. But if you get this and you get a touchdown, you may end the game.
They converted both times last week against New Mexico State on 4th down. 4th and 1 here. Cronkrite, the freshman, gets the job done.
Yeah, 1 score lead. I think I said 2. You still have a chance to put this game away based on the way your defense has been playing. You get a touchdown here, and the likelihood of East Carolina scoring 2 more touchdowns here, the way they struggled tonight, unlikely.
Pretty impressive looking drive here by the Gators. Led by Treon Harris on this drive.
Well, Jonesy, and if you're East Carolina, you've got to heat it up now because you know you don't have any more margin for error here.
See if they come after Harris. Steps up into the pocket, nowhere to go. He's going to be sacked. There's a flag down as well. Harris brought down at the 28 by Mike Myers, number 92. Let's see what this flag is about.
Holding, offense 74. 10-yard penalty for the previous spot. Repeat, first down.
That's going to go against the true freshman, Fred Johnson, out of West Palm Beach, Florida. In stark contrast to last week, Rod, Florida with 11 penalties as opposed to just 1 last week. That penalty thing always confuses me, though. Some of the most penalized teams in college football in history have been some of the most successful.
Yeah, you can be pretty aggressive and it can work your way, but you don't want 10 or 11.
No.
And that 1 last week was an aberration. You just rarely have that.
Harris hands it off to Taylor. Taylor gets beyond the 30 to the 28-yard line.
Don't you think the reaction to last week's game was a little bit overboard? I mean, in the sense that they put up 61 points against Townsend State and they had 1 penalty. I mean, that's expected.
Yeah.
Their offense is not going to do that all season long, as you see here tonight. But doesn't mean they can't be a good, solid offense, and I think that's what McElwain is trying to build towards. But there was an overreaction to the way Florida played last week.
Yeah, statistically, New Mexico State, their opponent last week, was one of the worst teams defensively. 2nd and 15 for the Gators. Little trips right formation. Harris going to take off and do it himself. Takes out his do-it-yourself kit, and it's pretty good. 1st and goal, Gators from the 7. 22 yards on the run by Harris.
That was a scramble, not a design run. He just decided to take off when he saw a lane. And he picks it all up here. And now Florida has a chance to put this game away. I really do believe they go up by 2 touchdowns here. That may be insurmountable.
Number 7. Inside handoff, and Taylor with a touchdown. An impressive drive by Florida. Choreographed by Treon Harris, who may have just given head coach McElwain something a little to think about, Rod. with that response.
He certainly got some support and rallied his teammates and made a couple plays himself. That last play, that offensive line just destroyed East Carolina's front.
Now 30-17.
With a touchdown following the play, dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct on the offense. 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
I thought Taylor made a little gesture afterwards that they may have.
Ball was on number 21 offense.
It's against Kelvin Taylor, one of the hardest working players on this team and one of the real leaders. A little over enthusiastic, perhaps.
Well, the touchdown is the product, again, of what that offensive line did. Look at them come off and control the linebackers, hunting the linebackers down. And then Taylor, ooh, you know, discipline is what your coach has been talking about. You can't have that. No, you can't.
ESPN College Football, brought to you by Dr. Pepper and College Football. It's a one-of-a-kind tradition. And Volkswagen, isn't it time for German engineering?
Florida called for a personal foul. Misconduct by Kelvin Taylor. This was the gesture he made after scoring the touchdown, and a vitriolic moment afterwards with his head coach. Coach McElwain talked about trying to change some of the habits and establish a certain way of doing things here. And we are thinking that that is part of the big picture, making the tweaks he's got to make along the way. Johnson on the return, brought down to the 33 as we go back to the studio. All right, guys, back here. East Carolina with the ball. A lot of work to do. Blake Kemp in a quarterback, and a fire complete to Bryce Williams. Picks up about 8. And there's Taylor on the sidelines. You saw Coach McElwain light into him a moment ago. When you look at the relationship between Taylor and his father, Fred, who played in the NFL, I can guess, I'll take a good guess, he's probably more fearful of his dad's reaction right now than what he got from Coach.
Agreed.
That pass complete to Jones, still on his feet. And finally tackled inside the 30-yard line. So the Pirates pick up 28 and moving very quickly.
Do they have enough? And do they have enough time? Jones is the one option that they've had down the field, but he's going to need a little help. To me, that's Bryce Williams, number 80. They have him split to the right side.
First into the backfield, he's going to come out and catch this pass. He's almost immediately, and he fumbled it. It's loose. Recovered, though, by the Pirates. His teammate, Antonio Callaway, right there to pounce on the loose ball. Check that. That was Jimmy Williams. Nicely ripped loose out of Hairston. But Williams right there. 2nd and 6. Little miscommunication between Blake Kemp and his intended receiver, Grayson.
I think the place he needs to look is down to the bottom where he has Williams matched up against Tabor. Now, Tabor has had a great game. Bryce Williams at 6'6" and 260 pounds can kind of post up Tabor.
Just kind of throw it up there for him?
Yeah, give him a chance. Now, Tabor's in the, Williams is in the slot.
Underneath, pass complete to Brandon Bishop. His first catch of the ball game. Picks up about 8 on the play. Got the first down. 5:03 to go. East Carolina with 3 timeouts remaining. They need a score here. They need a touchdown here.
Well, they've got to protect Kemp here. When they've gotten down to this area, pressure has been their problem.
Starting to drizzle down in the field there. Pass complete and then dropped. Loose. Pounced loose, and boy, that thing stayed loose for a long time.
Yeah.
And Blake Kemp, the quarterback, ended up jumping on the loose ball.
Excellent hustle by Kemp to get back involved and hang on to the football there. I mean, a lot of quarterbacks just kind of walk away from the pile. He ran over there to get in there.
Why are you putting quarterbacks on blast like that, man?
Aw. Come on.
12-yard loss.
You know I'm right.
Yeah, you are. 2nd and 22. They get a timeout. We're going to stay right here during this break. Well, it's that time of the year.
I mean, you know, she's already got a ball-headed guy in this crew. Didn't need to go to another crew for another ball-headed guy.
We still love you, Jessica. They're taking a look at that last play.
Yeah, was there a catch might be what they're looking at to see if you even have a completion. Did he have control and possession of the football? If not, that means there'd be no loss on the play.
You know, you love the way that Florida, all the players ran to the ball, and defensive coordinator Jeff Collins was telling us a story about how Vernon Hargraves, and showing a lot of leadership, said, you know, Coach, when we're running drills, we don't want you to blow that whistle until everybody has gotten there. And it shows here the way it rubs off in the games, Rod.
Well, it's the difference between, you know, getting a fumble recovery or saving a tackle, a play, stopping a score, because a lot of teams don't practice that. They don't hang in there. They don't pursue to the ball.
Well, the ruling on the field was that it was a complete pass. At 4:06 to go, and the Pirates down a couple of touchdowns here. Here's the call.
After review, the receiver never fully possessed the ball. Therefore, it is an incomplete pass. East Carolina will not be charged a timeout and will still have a challenge available. 2nd down at the previous spot.
That helps East Carolina tremendously. Brings them back around the 17-yard line. And at some point, you just take a shot into the end zone, Jonesy, instead of trying to dink and dunk your way in here.
Second down from the 17. Kemp completes it out of the backfield. And good pursuit once again by the Gators on Anthony Scott, who made the catch. And we have another player shaken up. It looks like a Gator defender down on the field. Number 17, Jordan Shearet.
He got a start last week, the first start of his career since Alex McAllister was suspended last week. Shearet got his first start.
6'4" sophomore from Tampa, Florida. And as the athletic trainers tend to him, we're going to take a short break and come back after this. Watch ESPN app or visit watchespn.com. So many games you can watch live or even the replays if you don't get a chance to see it the first time around. 3rd and 9 for the Pirates. Obviously, 4-down territory. Pass complete to Jones. Jones, his forward progress was right around that first down line. Let's see where they spot it. I thought he got the first down, and they're going to spot it right on the line. We'll see what the officials are doing, whether they're going to measure or give it to him. Ruffin McNeil saying, what's he doing?
It looks like they're going to measure.
Yeah, it was close. That was the 13th catch of the game, meanwhile, for Isaiah Jones. Took him a while to get going, but got into the flow here, especially in the second half. And it's going to be first and goal for the Pirates. Now, Jones's uncle, Jeff Blake, who was a former quarterback at East Carolina, certainly knows about pulling off upsets and major comebacks. Let's see if the Pirates have one in them here.
Well, Jones has been the guy. Bryce Williams in the slot. So far, they've been running clear outs for Jones, having the other guys run off the coverage and bringing Jones back underneath.
He's the middle receiver, and that's who they go to, but the pass was behind him, incomplete. And it's second and goal with 3:08 to go. East Carolina with its full complement of timeouts remaining. Florida also with 3.
They've had a tough time in the red zone tonight, just like they did back in the bowl game against Florida. And if they have any shot tonight of getting back in the game, they've got to get in the end zone here and then decide whether to kick it off or do an onside kick.
Wow. 10th play of the drive, second and goal for East Carolina. Hairston in motion into the end zone. Touchdown, Bryce Williams. So let's pump brakes a little bit. The Pirates still very much in this ball game with 3:04 to go. That's the first touchdown catch this season for Williams and the 10th of his career.
6'6", about 260 target to Blake Kent.
That's that post up you were talking about, right?
Yeah, posted him up. We've got a good one, a close one here today. SEC had a great week last week. A few more struggles today.
Tennessee getting upended today by Oklahoma in Knoxville.
Arkansas going down.
7-point game, folks, with 3:04 to go. 9 months ago, these two teams squared off in Birmingham at the Birmingham Bowl. It was a one-touchdown game. We'll see who comes out on top when we come back. Last week, as Treon Harris comes back out to lead this Florida Gator offense, so he will be the closer tonight. Kelvin Taylor, despite that admonishing that he took publicly on the sidelines, in the ball game with the ball. Brought down by Stanley, picked up 3 on the play, and Pirates thinking about burning a timeout here, maybe.
I'd hold off. I'd wait until after the next down to burn one of them. You got 3. If you keep 1 or 2 for your offense, you ought to do that.
2nd and 7. Harris calls the play in the huddle. Working under center for one of the few times tonight. Harris hands it off, and Taylor upended and stopped in the backfield. So now, after the loss of 3, we've got a very interesting 3rd and long situation with 2:08 to go. And now the timeout called by East Carolina.
Yeah, and that's the smart move, the right way to do it. Save your timeout, use it after the second down play. Now you have a couple timeouts left. You've got them in a 3rd and long situation. And if you're East Carolina, if you get the stop now, and this is what you play for now, enough pressure on the quarterback to get the stop, you got a chance. You know, puncher's chance, but you got a chance.
If you're Florida and your offensive coordinator, Doug Nussmeier, Jim McElwain, what are you thinking offensively? Are you going to Demarcus Robinson? Are you going to let Harris throw the ball at this point of the game?
Knowing Jim McElwain and how aggressive he is with offense and believes in it, I think he's going to let Harris throw it. He may move him out of the pocket, but I think he's going to give Harris the opportunity to make a play. I don't think you're going to see him turn around and hand it off and then punt the ball. He believes in his defense, but he'd like to go ahead and pick this up if he could.
Let's go downstairs to Quint for more.
Rod, I agree with you. My first inclination is some kind of run fake to the short side, then have him bootleg or roll out towards the wide side of the field, towards his strong right hand.
That would make sense to me.
3rd and 10. Taylor takes the handoff into the boundary. And the Gators are going to have to punt here. Stopped up 5 yards short on the 5-yard gain. East Carolina with 2 timeouts remaining. 2:02 remaining in the ball game.
East Carolina.
And they're going to take another one, so they're down to just 1.
Be a 30-second timeout.
Well, that's fine. You have 1 timeout and you have 2 minutes left in the ball game. Now, the interesting thing there was that McElwain has decided to put the game in the hands of his defense. So he's looking at this thinking, you know what, my defense has played pretty well all night. He doesn't feel threatened so much, I think, by the East Carolina passing attack that someone's going to get behind the secondary and they're going to give up a cheap one. So he likes his defense in this situation, which is why he chose not to put Harris in a position to throw it.
Florida with a couple of missed field goals today, which could be pivotal or not. With 2:02 to go. Remember, these two teams played about 9 months ago in the Birmingham Bowl. And it was pretty much like this, a 1-touchdown game in the dying minutes here. But an important deletion here. Vernon Hargraves III, the guy that ended the game for Florida with the interception, is not playing tonight. 4th and 5. Townsend punts. And a fair catch called at the 30-yard line by Johnson. 40-yard punt, nothing on the return. And now it will be Blake Kemp's turn, 70 yards away, 1:55 to go. Going to try and get his team into the end zone. And Jones has been a really important guy here in the second half, Rob.
Yeah, it really has been Jones and then just a little bit of Williams when needed, because there's been no rushing attack tonight at all. I mean, -2 in the second half, 4 for the game. So this is all on Kemp's shoulders.
Can you win a game? Can you win a game with 4 yards rushing?
I don't think so. But they have a shot here.
1st and 10. Kemp. Williams. Great move. Puts his shoulder down out of bounds with a first down. Just beyond the 45-yard line. So out near midfield with a lot of time, and they're used to going quickly. Remember, they ran over 100 plays against Florida in their bowl game 9 months ago. 16-yard pickup.
You have a timeout. Clock is not a factor. If you are Florida, when do you think about bringing pressure again? That has been successful for you tonight, and your corners have held up on the outside. I wouldn't hesitate to bring pressure.
Jones is the second receiver in from the top of your screen. And they look his way, overthrown and almost picked off. Brian Poole was there.
They brought 5. They brought 5, so they brought pressure, and they held up in coverage. Poole is a good matchup. He's a guy that plays the nickel spot, so he can handle the slot receiver pretty well.
Played safety last week. Pretty versatile DB. 2nd and 10. Over the middle for Jones. Jones diving, lunging, just a little bit short of that first down marker. It'll be 3rd and short. Jared Davis made a nice tackle, swiping his arm around.
Kemp's been good in the 4th quarter.
Boy, those are some clutch numbers. 12 of 16. 3rd and short. Gets rid of it quickly. Williams makes the catch and bowls over 2 Gators to gain about 5 extra yards. 1:11 to go, first down. Here come the Pirates.
Well, if you're Florida, you know that they're throwing over the middle. They've done it with Jones and they've done it with Williams. Someone should be spying in there. Someone should be a robber looking for that.
Kemp completes it over the middle. Williams again just beyond the 25, brought down by Davis. Some interesting matchups here as the Pirates get into the red zone. 42 seconds to go. They need a touchdown for a chance to tie. Kemp. Incomplete. Boy, it looked like there was a little miscommunication as to who that pass was actually intended for, Rob.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Williams was there, Jimmy Williams and Bryce Williams.
But they're finding that they have to look somewhere other than Jones, because Florida is looking for Jones. He's not been singled up in that slot. They've had him in and out covered the last couple of series. So if Jones is the guy you want, it's going to be hard to get the ball to him.
He's the second receiver to the top of your screen. Inside receiver to the top of your screen, up to 2. Out of the backfield, Hairston got one man to beat and does. Gets the job done and picks up the first down. All the way to the 13-yard line. 25 seconds to go, 12-yard pickup. Is it unraveling for the Gators? We got one timeout remaining, the Pirates do. Pass incomplete. Intended for Jones. And knocked down to the ground by Brian Poole. Stops the clock with 21. Do they look gassed to you, Rod?
Everyone is gassed out there. Everyone has had it. This is hot weather, humid. You see the ECU players really gasping for air. They might need a timeout here before too long, just to catch their breath.
2nd and 10. Hairston in the backfield. Oh, he lost control of the ball. Florida pounces on it. Blake Kemp had the ball just slip out of his hand. An egregious, cataclysmic error in the dying moments of the game. Alex McAllister jumping on the loose ball for the Gators.
Fumble or incomplete pass? Nope, completely a fumble. That ball never came forward. He lost it on the way back. We talked about folks being tired. We talked about needing a breath. They have a timeout, and he just lost the grip on that ball and never got a chance to make the throw.
Head coach has called a timeout to challenge the ruling of a fumble on the field.
I think the officials just said that they're going to look to see if it was a fumble or not.
Well, the rule is that if the arm is coming forward, then any tie goes to the quarterback. But you can see from that look, that ball came out on the way back before the arm goes forward. That's a fumble. Clearly a fumble.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. East Carolina will be charged with final timeout.
And a large exhale for head coach Jim McElwain. Might be able to smile for a couple of hours, more out of relief than jubilation right now. That would have been the last scenario that I would have thought would come up to end this game.
Yeah.
That kind of fumble. That'll just about do us. Treon Harris, the closer tonight for the Gators, and that storyline will continue perhaps for one more week. For Jim McElwain and the Florida Gators. That's it from here. The Gators win it. Coming up next, Boise State taking on BYU. For Rod Gilmore and the gang, I'm Mark Jones. Now out to Provo, Utah, and Dave Lamont.